Kevin Hart dropping out as the host of the 91st Annual Academy Awards show because of homophobic tweets. And I want people to really understand what I'm going to say. I'm going to criticize Kevin Hart, but I'm going in on Hollywood. Stay tuned for it. Get ready, because I'm roasting a lot of people. Let's go. Hey guys, good morning. This is your girl, Miss Analytical. I'm coming to you live in NYC on this beautiful Friday morning. I'm in Harlem. I'm at home. I'm going to get ready to go outside and buy a couple of things for my party that's coming up on Saturday. So in the meantime, I'm going to talk about Kevin Hart and this little situation with his homophobic tweets that cost him the dream job of a lifetime. Now, I woke up this morning and I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't even know that Kevin Hart made homophobic tweets. I didn't even know that it hit the news because what I was doing yesterday, I was talking about other things that was popping up on YouTube. So this didn't really hit my news. It didn't hit my news on T-Mobile. It didn't hit any of it. Probably it did later that evening, but by that time I was watching a live. And I just want to say shout out to Sweet Mom for Life because that live on Clarence and Queen Naja, that was dope. I gotta admit, that was very good. Now, I'm going to get to this whole situation. So, about 9 years ago, Kevin Hart posted some tweets. And at the time, nobody really thought it was homophobic. Let's be honest, except for gay people. We didn't really think it was homophobic because what Kevin Hart was saying was what we talk about in our community, about manhood. And so, Kevin Hart at the time was not a big household name when he made these tweets. Kevin Hart was a comedian that made a couple of movies. He was most famous for making movies within the Scary Movie franchise. He did Scary Movie, I believe, 3 and 4. He made 3 and 4. And he also did Soul Plane. That was it. He wasn't in a lot of movies. At that time, he made a movie with T.D. Jakes, which was like a Christian film. And it did pretty well. But he was mostly becoming famous for his stand-up. So these tweets were posted on September the 2nd, 2009. And what it was basically him saying that if I can prevent my son from being gay as a heterosexual male, I will. He also said in one of his tweets, is it gay for you to fight? Is it gay if you fight a guy with long hair and when you start losing, you grab a handful of it? Also, September the 10th, the next day, how can you tell if your pit bull is gay? My dog just farted and it sounds like a whistle. Laughing my ass off. All of the women asking me where the pig is. This was in the month prior. I'm not passing along a pic of a naked man. That would make me gay. And then before that, June of 2009, it said, I saw the biggest gay guy ever. This nigga looked like Hulk Hogan with heels on. I can't lie, I got scared. And then we go into the next year, and he talks about somebody being their dad, dad is a male gay. And I'm going to be honest with you, none of these jokes were funny at all. They really weren't. They really weren't at all. And one of the tweets dealt with if you want to go there, what people would call transphobia, which in our community is what we would talk about. When we see a man, a burly black dude with heels on and a wig, it is kind of scary, especially if they call themselves transgender. It's something to me that I'm not, as a woman, it's not going to sit well with me. But I'm going to get to that shortly. Now, in the 2010 comedy special where he mentioned his son being gay, that was in a special called Seriously Funny. And also, in a 2015 Rolling Stone interview, He said that he wasn't going to apologize. And he also said that he wouldn't make the same jokes again because the times in those days weren't as sensitive as it is now in this decade. Now, because of those things, the Oscars were scrambling. They weren't looking for a host. They were scrambling for a host. And they hired him as a host that Tuesday or Wednesday. To tell you that it wasn't a big deal that they hired Kevin Hart as a host, they didn't have a big announcement for it because they scrambled. Because nobody probably wants to host the Oscars, or they probably didn't want to pay them what they felt they were worth. So they probably didn't offer Kevin Hart a lot of money to host, but Kevin Hart took it because it was his dream job of a lifetime to be completed as a comedian, because comedians want to host the Oscars. That's like the dream job. That's like their Olympics, their Super Bowl. And after that, it's like, maybe I'll win a Lifetime Achievement Award or something like that. But Kevin Hart, nobody gave a damn because it was announced December the 5th, that Wednesday. Friday, he steps down. Now, when he stepped down, this is very important to realize, he did not apologize. Even when he stepped down, he did not apologize. He stood by his belief. He wasn't going to apologize at all. Because when he posted the tweet, in this tweet, I'm going to read it to you on Instagram. It says, "Stop looking for reasons to be negative. Stop searching for reasons to be angry. I swear I wish you guys could see, feel, understand the mental place that I am in. I am truly happy, people. There is nothing you can do to change that. Nothing. I work hard on a daily basis. Spread positivity to all. With that being said, if you want to search my history or past and anger yourselves with what you find, that is fine with me. I'm almost 40 years old. I'm in love with the man that I am becoming. You live and you learn and you grow and you mature. I live to learn, to love. Please take your negative energy and put into something constructive. Please, what's understood should never have been said. I love everybody. Once again, everybody. If you choose to not believe me, then that's on you. Have a beautiful day." Kevin Hart, you don't love everybody, so stop that shit. Stop that shit right now. You don't love everybody. Okay? Now, it says, according to NBC, that Kevin Hart, he pulled out of hosting the Oscars Thursday night after he came under fire for old homophobic tweets and jokes that recently surfaced by people on social media. Now, he said he made the choice to step down from hosting this year's Oscars, but this is because I do not want to be a distraction on the night that should be celebrated by so many amazing, talented artists. I sincerely apologize to the LGBTQ community for my insensitive words from my past. And now they're scrambling for a host. Now, first I'm getting to your ass, Kevin Hart. See, Kevin Hart, what you did was you got too comfortable. You thought you was in their world and that you were their favorite black guy in the room. You thought that because you were accepted, you were safe. See, when you made those tweets, you weren't in what we called mainstream. You were just up and coming as a comedian, up and coming as a stand-up comedian. You didn't even break in to being a household name until 3 years later when you made Think Like a Man. And your character really didn't have a relationship except for with Wendy Williams because you were to be the comedy relief. Steve Harvey, Will Packer made you who you are. And you owe your credit to black men and black people. And I'm going to get to that later. Second of all, when black men were going through it in Hollywood, you did nothing. When Bill Cosby was being railroaded, and I still say that, You said nothing, and he comes from your hometown. You did nothing. You said nothing, and you were silent, okay? All these other black people in Hollywood that were losing jobs, you said nothing, you did nothing. You were quiet, okay? When you got on that Oscar stage in 2016, when Chris Rock made that joke about black grandmothers being lynched from a tree, you said nothing except for the fact that, oh, it was comedy, plain and simple. Y'all were the biggest coons that night, and it was embarrassing, okay? And I'm still mad at all of y'all for that show, okay? Then, the real joke is that you making these tweets in 2009, and then you make movies where you actually kiss men. So my question to you is, were you really ashamed of your son, of having a gay son? Or were you doing this because at the time you were trying to get street cred as a comedian? Or are you making films now where you kissing men because you yourself is trying to get that money? You trying to get that bag, that you're willing to do anything in Hollywood, even compromise your manhood. That's what I want to know and need to know. Now, you did not apologize right away, even when you lost your gig. But you apologized afterwards because you want to still work in Hollywood and you know who runs Hollywood. So you want to get the bag for them because those LGBTQIA people sign your checks. Now, I'm going to go in on some of the people that made comments, like Billy Eichner. He commented on Hart's video on Twitter and said this is not good. He says a simple, authentic apology showing any bit of understanding or remorse would have been so simple. Like I tweeted a few weeks ago, Hollywood still has a real problem with gay men. On the surface, it may not look like it. Underneath, it's far more complicated. Billy Eichner, until you talk about the racism in Hollywood, don't come for Kevin Hart. You go after those white men that was being homophobic for years. Because white people been homophobic, if you want to keep it real, in Hollywood way longer than black men, okay? What Kevin Hart was talking about was about his son not wanting to have a son who is gay, okay? And the reason why he said that was because he's trying to prevent his son from being gay because he wants to continue to have his children legacy continue. He wants his legacy to still continue. He knows that more than likely, if he has a gay son, his son is not going to produce a child. In our community, manhood means a lot to us because of our history with slavery. It was something called buck breaking. Look that up because that is very scary. And it's also very, very heart-wrenching to just watch a man have his manhood broken down because he stands up for his rights as a human being. That's why black men are very, 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 very critical of the whole gay, I don't want to say gay movement, but when men are gay, and especially when they're transgender, they're very critical of that. We don't hate gay people. And I could tell you most black men don't hate gay people. Most black people have gay people in their family. But what it is that they're not going to celebrate it because to them, it doesn't really bring any good into the home, particularly when it comes to lineage. That's the thing. And that's very important to us, especially what we went through slavery. Now I'm going in on Hollywood. You all are some of the dirtiest people. You all make movies depicting black people horrible. You make us, you have more stereotypes on us than you do with gay men and gay women. Let's keep it real. Okay? Hollywood, this history with homophobia is with white men. Okay? And really what it came to it is the visibility. When you go and look at movies going from the 20s to 30s to 40s to 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, what you really see when they do mention gay people, they make fun of them. And they do the cross-dressing thing. That's pretty much all it is. The only person that's gay in the movies really was the butler. That's all. However, what Billy Eichner wants, He wants visibility because he wants gay people, and it's not just him, it's all of them, to be visible and have power at the forefront. Here's the problem. Nobody wants to see gay people really at the forefront. We see a lot of shows that was canceled this decade because gay people were too much at the forefront. They don't want it in their families. It's just the way it is. Now, Hollywood, your problem is that you all come after black men and attack them, but y'all still won't go after Stephen Collins for being a pedophile. Y'all swept that under the rug. Talk about justice, talk about fairness, talk about acceptance. Yeah, see, you'll accept a person apologizing for being a pedophile, but when you go after a black man, y'all want to take away his livelihood. And Kevin Hart, I'm going to give you a warning. They're coming for you. They're taking away everything. This is just the beginning, okay? And this is your wake-up call, or I'm not going to say that word, but this is your comeuppance. This is your karma because you did nothing when black men were being attacked. You stood there because you wanted to get the bag. And now you got the bag, and they're about to take the bag back from you. And on that note, this is Miss Analytical. I'm signing off. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell. Like, share, comment, and I'll talk to you soon. Later.